have to bring up the water. Meet George Jetson.
Meet George Jetson.
Daughter Judy.
His boy Elroy.
That's right. Daughter Judy. Jane, his wife.
Daughter Judy. Jane, his wife.
Drew Brees, please. You are correct, number 9. It is indeed New Orleans, Louisiana, a Tuesday afternoon, fading towards mid-July. We're like at the Mount Everest of summertime. Or maybe the Death Valley would be more appropriate. We're a few months in and a few months to go. This is like peak time, mid-July. You figure, what, May, June, July, August, September. I mean, my brother wants to go to Florida. I was like, make sure it's like after October 20th, something like that. That's like a guess, but you just don't know. It could be 90 on September 20th. No, we don't get out of this heat and humidity till a few weeks into October. That's safe to say. Miss Peaches at the controls. I wish I were rich and wealthy, Miss Peaches, because those folks have it together. At least when it comes to New Orleans weather, they pretty much stay here like, I don't know, I guess Labor Day. I mean, I would stretch that back a little bit. In the olden days, the rich and wealthy, like in the 20s and 30s, would get on the train and go north to like Chicago or places like that. June, July, August, like Memorial Day through Labor Day. So they'd be in New Orleans about 8.5, 9 months. And then those 3 ridiculous months in New Orleans, June, July, August, they'd beeline out of Dodge, literally. Get on a train and go to Chicago. And then as time went on, a lot of these same folks that used to do that, family generation, money, continuing the wealth, they're going all over the place. Colorado, the Highlands in North Carolina, Maine. Lots of New Orleanians during the summer months that have the wherewithal, that are, rich to wealthy, beeline out of here. And I get it. That's what I'd be doing. I would get out around, Miss Peaches, if, I hit the ATM machine. It just won't stop spitting out money. I was like that wealthy. Probably around May, sometime in May 10th through 15th, I'd be like out of New Orleans and then go to like, my place in Boulder, Colorado, or the Highlands in North Carolina or something through like maybe like October 1st. And then come back to New Orleans for October, November, December, January, February, March, and April. That'd be, maybe through Jazz Fest, maybe the first weekend. Who knows? Maybe come in from, go away for a few weeks and come back for Jazz Fest. That might be the route. Go make sure the place for the next 4 or 5 months is settled in and you got all the, salt, pepper, cayenne pepper, butter, the basics to live. No, that's good living. Folks that can get out of New Orleans. I know a guy, he just casually says it, Miss Peaches. I'm like, yeah, I say stuff back to him like, I go to New Orleans East in Harvey, but he has a place in Aspen, Colorado. Like whatever your house is worth, Miss Peaches, wherever you live, whatever it is, you could have a $800 rental, an $800,000 big box house, whatever. You can just add like 10, 12 million to that. If it were in Aspen, like if it's an 80 grand house here, it's $10,080,000 in Aspen. Sheesh. It's unbelievable. It really is. Google like Aspen real estate and Google like the mediocre properties, like not the ridiculous 10,000 square foot Hampton Inn places. I'm talking like 1,500 square foot, 8.9 million, stuff like that. Only a few blocks off the beaten path. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, that would be pretty good. Aspen wouldn't be bad. La Jolla, Drew Brees country, anywhere in California really wouldn't be bad. I saw something on Twitter just talking about Florida. Why is everybody talking about California? Florida's California without the whatever. I'm like, Florida's not California, okay? I love Florida. I'm glad it's right there. We're from New Orleans, from the Superdome French Quarter. You can be at the Florida state line in about 2.5 hours. Pretty damn cool. Pretty nice to be. I mean, we're 35 minutes from the Mississippi state line. We're like butted up against Mississippi, basically. And Mississippi and Alabama on I-10 are under an hour each going through those states. And boom, you're right there in Florida. I love Florida. I love the Panhandle. I mean, it's like part of our DNA for a lot of folks in New Orleans. Beach trips and that kind of stuff. It's right down I-10. I have nothing against Florida. Comparing Florida to California is insane. Geography, topography. I mean, it's not even comparable. Yes, the tweet had something about like same weather. I'm like, no, it's not the same weather. California has pretty amazing weather, and Florida, like Louisiana, is pretty damn hot a lot of the time. I like Louisiana weather. I'm used to it, but California weather's California weather. Why go into this denial thing and beat up California? I never understood that. I like good movies, quality acting movies, television. Love it. Grew up on it. Why would I diss Hollywood or California? I don't like when, actors, musicians, athletes start getting into politics and start telling us what they think. I could care less. I tune it off. But that doesn't mean that guy isn't a good athlete or isn't a good actor or musician. Just don't want to hear his political take, even if I like it or not. Don't want to hear his political take. Just want to hear his music or watch the movie. But yeah, the hate of California and I don't know. Texas, incredible economy, lots of money. Texas is like vets at Cleary forever. Strip malls and strip joints, zero culture. Texas is like a big nightmare. I love the money. I get why people live there. Corey, come do talk radio in Houston or Dallas or Austin, and we'll pay you 3 times as much. It's like LIV golf. I get it. I get the draw. Have a wife and kids and, schools and quality. I get it. But my God, cultureless place. Florida's sort of similar. California's got a lot of culture, you can be on the beach and in 3 hours on a mountain snow skiing. I don't know why people knock California. I love going to California. I love visiting California. What a crappy way to go through life, Miss Peach. Is just like, the steak and lobster sucks. Having that extra money's terrible. I mean, you just have to like go against like the grain of just things that are kind of normal and nice and come up with all these crazy things. I'm not saying I want to go move there. I'm not saying there's San Francisco, I think one of the best cities in the world. Do they have like a homeless problem? Yeah. Is it some woke problem? Sure. But, where is it perfect? There's no nirvana. Anyway, just beating up places like that. Me no comprende. A hot Tuesday afternoon. I got to think we creeped into the feels like 100. Maybe not. No, maybe it's 85. I can't believe that. What's the feels like? Feels like 92. Just seems hot outside. But I guess today's like a good day. 85. Take that all the time. Are you kidding me? What a fluke. Save old Jefferson. Have you seen the signs? Oshner trying to grow. Boy, they've grown a lot in the last 5 to 10 years. Off River Road, off Jefferson Highway. They have a lot of influence. And I guess they should. They employ like north of 10,000 people on all of their campuses. And they have tremendous growth. Healthcare is growing. They continue to grow the footprint of that hospital. It truly is a catch-22. I'm right by Oshner. I'm right there. I'm right by the parish line, by the Lowe's, by Holly Grove, by the Sewage and Water Board, the Carrollton neighborhood, the River Bend, Old Jefferson. I'm right there. So seeing like, especially when you cross the parish line by the Lowe's and you continue into Jefferson through that S curve and all that new stuff that's popping up there. I mean, that was kind of a crusty, crappy little area a decade ago. I think Oshner's growth has spurred on some other stuff around there, but no, it's a catch-22. You want to take down houses and streets were neighborhood streets all of a sudden becoming part of Oshner's campus and old oak trees. So, Love to hear from you, 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Remember the number, because I got some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away on this hot Tuesday, July, summer day. Corey Johnson with you. Miss Peaches at the controls. Holla! The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Did you know Rouse's sells only Angus beef? Angus beef's natural marbling means more succulence and flavor. Whether you choose Rouse's USDA Prime, Choice, or Select, it'll be only Angus beef when you get it at Rouse's. Tastes like home.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool, New Orleans. NOLAAC.com is your cool spot.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh, Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
The French bread of the city of New Orleans. Good to the last crumb. Leidenheimer French bread.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore led us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. The Rouse's Markets phone lines are open. 766-9480. 9480. Love to hear from you. Hey, I've got a holdover trivia question from yesterday. It'll lead to a second trivia question once the first one's answered. 766-9480. What is the McDonough 3? The McDonough 3. Who are the McDonough 3? What is the McDonough 3? Is it people? Is it an entity? What's the McDonough 3? Who's the McDonough 3? Give me the answer to that question. I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Hey, some ground rules. No cheating. That means no intranet device, no search engines, no Google, Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, Bing, none of that. What, Miss Peaches? Yeah, no Alta Vista, Miss Peaches says. She's still on Alta Vista. Wow, what a search engine. I wonder if that even is still viable. If you go to Alta Vista, does it just send you to Google or Yahoo or something? Check that out, Miss Peaches. AltaVista.com. You remember that one? Alta Vista. ALTA Vista. VISTA. That was like a search engine like before Yahoo and Google, I think. What? Oh, wow. Netscape. Holy smokes. You've got mail. AOL. All right, I'm AOL. I'm absent without leave. All right. It is a Tuesday afternoon. I do have some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa gift certificates to give away. McDonough 3, give me an answer. Don't cheat. Oh, by the way, Tessie Prevost, only 69 years old, passed away, a civil rights icon in the city. Tessie Prevost passing away over the last few days. That story broke yesterday. Save Old Jefferson, Oshner Hospital, their growth. Like I said, a catch-22. I like what's going on Jefferson Highway. I don't like the traffic lights in front of Oshner on Jefferson Highway. They need to be, it's like a 50-50 deal. It's like, no. It should be like 80-20, 80% on Jefferson Highway, 20% for Oshner. Same with River Road. That light at River Road's like a 50-50 deal. It should be like, no, 90% River Road, 10% Oshner. Oshner's got a lot of stroke with 10,000 plus employees. They essentially, with that expansion to the tower over the last 5 to 10 years, they took over that side street. Probably, I'm guessing about 20 houses just purchased and destroyed and expanded the campus. But it is an old Jefferson neighborhood. I mean, Rio Vista, I think a few blocks away, that's safe. The old oak trees lining it. I'd be shocked if it ever goes that far, but they seem to be creeping, farther into old Jefferson, and a lot of folks don't like it, worried about old oak trees. Oshner had to put out a release. We're going to have green space. We're going to have a path to the levee for the neighbors that remain. That 200-year plus old oak tree on Betts, we're going to work around that. That tree wasn't planted. That tree's just always been there. So old as the city. Oh, no. Colorado State University, Miss Peaches, they're readjusting an already hyper above average hurricane season. Like they're saying, well, even though it's crazy, we're going to take it a step, further because of just record high water temperatures, things of that nature. La Nina. Louisiana AG Liz Merle on the French Quarter tour guide, Christy Thibodeau being murdered, 3 teens, 19, 17. The 15-year-old had an ankle monitor, 15 years old. She asks, where are the parents? That's a good question, boy. Procreating's easy. And guess what, kids? It's fun. But there's an end result a lot of the time. It's called a child. And you have to actually be it's called parent. You have to be a mother or father and parent the child and sacrifice your own life for the kid. The kid's bigger than you. Wow. More important than you. You're second or third because the kid and then the spouse. Anyway, no, a lot of folks just procreate for what reason I do not know and have no intention of being a father or mother, or at least attempting to be good at it. Boy, having a child and not having any parenting skills coupled with a belligerent, ignorant attitude just is a dangerous mix. A dangerous mix. No, I see children all the time where I'm looking in their eyes, they're looking in my eyes, and I'm just like, you don't have a chance. Your mother's an idiot. Your dad is MIA. You got no shot. No shot. You overcome this. I got a friend of mine. He's a chef, married this sweet girl, just dysfunctional family that the girl was involved in. I mean, she came out like a champ. I told my chef friend, I'm like, dude, just your wife's great. And the odds were so stacked against her, and she just came out like a champ. I mean, some people just can overcome it. Just the percentages are tough. It's harder. It's harder. I forgot that percentage. It's real. It was from like a Clinton liberal. You don't get a high school degree. You get pregnant in your teens, like 19 or below. It's a 95% chance you're going to live in poverty your whole life. 95% chance if you have a child in your teens and do not get a high school degree. And it is a 95% chance you won't live in poverty if you have that kid at 20 plus and you have a GED or a high school degree. 95% chance you will not live in poverty. It's just amazing, just this harsh, cut and dried, blatant stat. There's no variables. You're a teenage girl, you have a child, and you don't have a high school degree, you're living in poverty. You're a 20-plus-year-old, have the high school degree and have a kid, you're probably not living in poverty, like 19 out of 20 chance you're not. It's that simple. It's crazy. No, some stats are just cut and dried. Can't argue with them. It's like that cigarette smoking one, Miss Peaches, hint, 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 you with your misties. They say if you wake up and within 30 minutes you're smoking, it's about a 95% chance you can't quit. But if you wake up and do other stuff and maybe you get your first smoke like 45 minutes, an hour, and like you're not just thinking about the cigarette, it makes sense. It's about a 95% chance you can quit. I have a friend that plops his feet down, his eyes aren't even open, he reaches to the table, don't even turn on the lamp, lights up a cigarette with his feet on the side of the bed, like half awake, smokes like half the cigarette, puts it out, and goes right back to sleep. Like wakes up in the middle of the night. Miss Peaches says she does that with her misties. So she almost burned down the house by thinking she put it in the ashtray and she put it on the shag carpeting, and now there's a big hole. Miss Peaches says, you'd only know that if you lifted up the rug I put covering the hole, which I did, Miss Peaches, when I was over at your house. I was like, what is this weird rug doing on the shag carpeting? And I lifted it up and there's a big hole. I could see the burn mark. I was like, cigarette, Misty, stuff happens. Miss Peaches has burned like, drapes and things like that, just like little cigarette burns. And she'd be talking to me. I'm like, they're burning a hole in the drape, ash like about an inch long on the cigarette. Anyway, 766-9480, 766-9480. Congressional Democrats meeting today. Should he stay or should he go? Joe Biden. Biden says he's not leaving. He says on the discussion for him to leave, it's time for it to end, like not going anywhere. The crazy thing is, old, kind of failing Joe Biden physically, mentally, it's a dead heat with Donald Trump. That's how beloved and great Donald Trump is. That's how fantastic that candidate is. Have I said this before? It's a 2 and a 10 ball club versus a 3 and 9 ball club. Neither team's a winner. Neither team's near 500. Neither team's going to the playoffs. And folks like back these teams like Super Bowl, man. 5 and 12. 13 and 4. 4 and 13. 5 and 12. I don't know if that's anywhere near Super Bowl. If you're the Saints, you don't want 4 and 13 or 5 and 12 to be the record. That's the two presidential candidates. Troop NOLA, kicking butt and taking names. Another car chase, another stolen vehicle with switched VIN numbers, another drug stash, cocaine, pills, another wanted by the NOPD arrest warrant, separate incident. battery, fleeing from police, resisting arrest, traffic violation. This was another incident for Eric G. Banks Jr., 27 years old. Troop NOLA just making a difference. This kind of stuff, car chases aren't good. We've talked about it before. It's not a positive. But the state police or NOPD didn't start it. The criminals did. And this sends out a message. I mean, have you noticed like four-wheelers and dirt bikes and the like on Sunday? You don't see that so much the last few months because those folks know, wow, I'll get pulled over, I'll get arrested, and this thing will get confiscated. My four-wheeler that I shouldn't have in the city to begin with will get confiscated. A Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Kind of shocked. 87 degrees now. Not in the 90s. Feels like 96. Not feels like 100 and something. But you still need that air conditioning. River City's Total Maintenance is there for you. River City's Total Maintenance. Honest air conditioning experts that come immediately, right away. If you ever need AC help, weekday, weekend, overnight, holiday, it doesn't matter when, they're there immediately. They're honest and they'll diagnose it right the first time. All you need to know, NOLAAC.com. You need AC help, NOLAAC.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We're doing all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations, New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
For Leidenheimer Baking Company, producing the perfect French bread is more than a vocation. It's a sacred mission. And for 5 generations, they've used the same time-honored process, baking their signature loaf with its crisp crust and delicate center, unique and still good to the last crumb. From the finest French Quarter restaurants to your local po' boy shop, for over 125 years, New Orleans' own Leidenheimer.
1970 was an exciting time in New Orleans. The first Jazz Fest was held, the city hosted its first Super Bowl, and the first Helm Paint location opened on Earhart Boulevard. While the floppy disks, mood rings, and pet rocks may have come and gone since the 70s, Helm Paint has grown to become your premier source for quality Benjamin Moore products, competitive pricing, and personal service. Please visit one of our locations today, and we'll meet our competitors' prices on any identical product. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
When USA Today ranked the 10 best must-visit New Orleans restaurants for travelers, Mid-City's own Katie's made the list. USA Today says Scott Craig is chef-owner at Katie's, a much-loved Creole Italian eatery that draws armies of regulars for lunch, brunch, and dinner. A neighborhood spot where locals congregate and New Orleans-style hospitality rules. Indeed it does. Katie's in Mid-City.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Crescent City and beyond. Corey Johnson back at you. Another car chase, another stolen vehicle. Troop NOLA seems to be getting the job done. A lot of folks are anti-Troop NOLA. They don't like that. They're part of the old political machine in New Orleans. They think this is like a loss of control. White conservative Republicans from outside of Orleans city limits are coming in and kind of forcing their will upon us. So you have that old kind of school, the bold life soul coup kind of that mentality. The Bill Jefferson, Mark Morial, yesteryear thinking mentality. Folks still embrace that in New Orleans. Are you kidding me? Cheese and Pete's. Black, white, Republican, Democrat. It's like the crappiest game we got going. People like me, black and white, normal people have to deal with this crap, live with these extreme folks. So no, you have some folks that don't like this like takeover, they think. So they're against Troop NOLA. And then they're just going to, the car chases aren't good. And they're just going to focus in on that. And there are a lot of things you can focus in. No one wants a car chase. They are dangerous. There can be accidents. Civilians can be involved. It's, let them go. Can't do that either. That was the New Orleans approach. Reactive policing for a decade instead of proactive policing. And that's why New Orleans was the wild, wild west. That's why these youngsters, and I say youngsters, I mean 15 to 30, even older, I've seen in New Orleans on four-wheelers. But folks from outlying parishes, even outside of the state. Hey, man, come on, Jimmy, come on in. Bring the four-wheeler, bring the drifting car, whatever you're going to do, and come to Orleans Parish. We know in other parishes, we know in other states, they don't tolerate this. But in New Orleans, it's the Wild Wild West. They don't have enough police. There aren't police on the street. There isn't a police presence. We don't have to worry about it. We can do donuts on. You want to do them on Franklin and St. Claude? No problem. You want to do them at the base of the high rise on the I-10? No problem. Bring it. We'll drag race on Almonaster. We'll drag race on Wisner. We do whatever we want. There's no repercussions. Sunday is four-wheeler day. 20, 30 of us strong. We take over the streets. We run red lights. We do whatever we want to do. No repercussions. It's the Wild, Wild West. Bring it, Jimmy. Now there's a presence. A proactive NOPD, this Troop NOLA, Troop N of the state police in New Orleans. And they are going after folks. So it sends out this message. I had a guy on the show tell me, he's like, folks aren't listening to you, Corey, or watching or listening to this program or reading the newspaper. No joke. But they're out on the streets. And when Jimmy gets arrested, he was on his four-wheeler. He got arrested. The four-wheeler's confiscated. He ain't getting it back. That message spreads. And then all of a sudden, the four-wheelers aren't out. Probably some guys like, time to get rid of the four-wheeler. And then the drifting is stopping and all of that. Carjackings down, all of it. Because the criminals now are like, wow, there are repercussions in New Orleans. There are police. There is a presence. They are proactive. It isn't the wild, wild west anymore. So that's a good thing. No, car chases are not a good thing. But the state police, the NOPD, they didn't start it. The criminal did, like this one, the car chase with a stolen vehicle where they switched the VIN numbers. More drugs found. Amazing there wasn't any illegal firearms found. The arrest warrant for this criminal was long. He has an arrest warrant, already wanted by the police. So Eric Banks, 27 years old, going to jail for a while now. And it sends the message to Eric Banks, 27 years old, and all his buddies that, man, Eric's going to jail. They got Eric. No, the four-wheeler thing is hysterical. I mean, I'm not making this up. Paris and Gentili, I posted this video. You can look at it on my YouTube. I'm like on Paris and Gentili, that Popeyes. I'm not going to the Popeyes. I don't like Popeyes. Not anymore. Anyway, I guess I'm turning to go on I-610, I'm guessing. And as I drive by the Popeyes, I see 2 4-wheelers in the parking lot. I'm like, what the hell? So I hook a U-turn. I end up going into that Popeyes parking lot. There's park in the back. There's 2 4-wheelers sitting in the parking lot at Popeyes. There's a guy sitting on one and the other one's empty. Then all of a sudden, his wife, his girlfriend, his sister, his girl, a friend that's female, comes walking out with 2 bags of Popeyes. 2 white, bags full of boxes of Popeyes. She gets on her 4-wheeler, and they both ride off. I follow them out the parking lot. I'm like, are these 2 going to get on I-610 right here on the entrance ramp? They don't. They head down Gentili Boulevard towards Elysian Fields, towards Broad, towards Dillard. One's in the lane, one's in the bicycle lane. They're both going over the speed limit. No helmets, no license plate, no blinkers, totally illegal. It's like a 50-year-old dude and like a 40-year-old woman. Hey, let's take the 4-wheelers out and go to Popeyes. Now, here's the beautiful part. They even knew Popeyes would not serve them in the drive-thru on a 4-wheeler. They knew that. But they knew the city of New Orleans wasn't going to go after them if they rode around on the streets. Isn't that amazing? You can ride the 4-wheeler on the street, but you can't take it through the drive-thru. Honey, you go in the drive-thru. I'm going to watch the 4-wheelers. You go inside and get the chicken. I'm going to stay out here and watch our 4-wheelers. This is like adults. I'm on Claiborne's and Carrollton by Old Palmer Park across from the Walgreens. I'm by the stoplight. There's a dude under the tree. It's like a 55-year-old man on a 4-wheeler. I'm telling you, this dude's like 55. It's not like an 18-year-old kid. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Like full-blown adults. But then I see men, Miss Peaches, in those jacked up trucks, and they're not doing anything in the jacked up truck. They're not pulling like a trailer, just a big jacked up truck. Not doesn't handle good, doesn't brake well, horrible on the highway. Just, I don't know, you're in the city in the big jacked up truck. You don't know how to drive it very well. Have trouble staying in your lane. When it comes to parking in a parking lot, always the tires on the white line. Got news for you, big boy. That big truck, it's too big for you. You need like a Tercel, a Camry, an Accord, a Civic, a Taurus. You need like a regular 4-door car because the big jacked up truck, it's too much for you. You park on the white lines. You can't keep it in the lane. It's too much for you to handle. Big boy with your big truck. Corey Johnson with you. The Pelicans' new point guard, DeJounte Murray, introduced today. The GM Griffin's just like mentions Brandon Ingram like there's nothing, no trade talks going on or anything. Anyway, the Pels have a new starting point guard. Congressional Democrats, a lot of them, there's momentum building. They want to oust Biden, but Biden's like one-upping them today. It's time for it to end. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm running for president. I'm the guy that's going to beat Trump. Who else can beat Trump? That's sort of Biden's attitude. Should he stay or should he go? Biden says he's not leaving the race. No, what's amazing is it's basically tied. What does that say about Donald Trump when Joe Biden had that performance at the debate and it's still basically tied? That just goes to show you, we know Joe Biden's weak. We saw the debate. It was sad. It was sad. I've said this for over a year now, just as a human being with like no, stake in it, like indirectly when I say, obviously I'm American, I have a stake in who the president is, but Joe Biden speaking, I'm always scared, like, is he going to lose his place? Is he going to screw up? Yeah, I can't even focus on what he's saying because I'm fixated on him making a mistake. That's not good. So I've been saying that for a while. We saw it come, to full bloom during the debate. And this thing's still tied. That shows you the dislike, even hatred for Donald Trump. There are a large number of Americans, no matter what, they're never going to vote for Donald Trump, no matter what. Bill Maher may have said it best. I would vote for Joe Biden, his head in a jar of that blue liquid, like at the barber shop. Joe Biden's head in a jar. Bill Maher would vote for that over Donald Trump. There are certain people that Donald Trump is out. Out. It doesn't have anything to do with Republican. It's Donald Trump. There could be another Republican. They'd vote for that Republican. Some are Democrats that don't vote Republican. I'm not talking about them. They're Democrats that'll never vote Republican. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about folks that would vote Republican, that do vote Republican, that because Donald Trump's the candidate, they'll never, ever vote for Donald Trump, no matter who the opponent is. I guess it'd have to be like Edwin Edwards, David Duke, vote for the crook. It's important. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 9:30 straight through the day. That means you can go right now and enjoy an early dinner at Lebanon's Cafe. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn. Big green awning. You can't miss it. Some of the finest Middle Eastern food. Everything you love, those Middle Eastern sides, fresh, large portions, authentic, and priced right. They're open till 9:30. Tonight for dinner, make it Lebanon's Cafe. Corey Johnson with you on a hot July summer afternoon.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
From the owners of Katie's in Mid-City and Bienvenue in Harahan, an old school deli with over a dozen specialty sandwiches. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you. It's time to relax. The Woodhouse Day Spa, Metro New Orleans' premier day spa experience, now with 5 area locations. For a day of relaxation or maybe just a quick 1-hour getaway, the Metro area's premier day spa experience is at the Woodhouse Day Spa. And now 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and our newest location in Mandeville. The Woodhouse Day Spa, woodhousespas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
What actually lasts a lifetime? Not much, but at Helm Paint, we have something guaranteed to last a lifetime. Benjamin Moore's Regal Select. This paint and primer in one offers cutting-edge waterborne technology, smooth application, and long durability. Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore, your New Orleans paint store.
My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day, by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com. Hey, Latrim, the global manufacturing giant, is hiring. They're out in Elmwood. They're also up on I-12 on the North Shore. It's not 2 or 3 job openings either. Dozens and dozens and dozens of job openings right now. A job for you, a career for you at Latrim. Go to their website, latrim.com. Latrim spelled L-A-I. T-R-A-M, latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program, Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Tessie Prevost, only 69 years old, civil rights pioneer here in New Orleans, has passed away. That was over the last few days. That story broke yesterday. Hey, speaking of yesterday, I have a held over trivia question. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. No intranet device, no search engines. If you got an answer, I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 Woodhouse Day Spa locations. The McDonough 3. Who are the McDonough 3? What is the McDonough 3? Give me the answer to that. I've got 50 bucks for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. 766-9480. 766-9480. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. Troop NOLA getting another car chase. This clown gets on I-10 in the east and goes the wrong way on I-10. I mean, how sick is that? Going against traffic on the interstate. Beyond, I mean, that's just got to, how'd you like to be on the interstate doing 60, 70 miles an hour and all of a sudden you see a vehicle coming at you? Scary enough sometimes driving with the people driving with you. Anyway, another stolen vehicle, another drug stash, another arrest warrant. This guy's a criminal with an arrest warrant. Now he's going to go to jail for a while. Eric G. Banks Jr., 27. No, and this is sending out a message to all the Eric G. Bank Juniors out there. Don't go four-wheeling. Don't do drifting. Don't go steal a car. Don't run from police when they're about to arrest you. It sends out a message. You better watch it. New Orleans isn't the wild, wild west anymore. There's proactive policing, not reactive policing. It can be your rear end. So it's, the word's getting out. There are only about 300 or 400 of these violent criminals in New Orleans.
You saw over the last few weeks that operation where they nailed about 150, probably literally like a third of all violent criminals in New Orleans, like 1/3 taken off the street in the last month. A third. It's one of the biggest stories in the last decade when it comes to violent crime in New Orleans. So no, the message is out there now. From wild, wild west, no repercussions, you can get away with anything, to man, it's no longer the wild, wild west. There are major repercussions and you can't get away with much anymore. That's the message going out. And when you have proactive instead of reactive policing, that's what you're going to get. That's huge. Save old Jefferson. I see the signs on River Road on Jefferson Highway. Oster wants to grow. It's kind of a catch-22, as I said earlier. You want to see Oshner continue to grow. That curve on Jefferson Highway, kind of crusty, right when you come across the parish line, heading from New Orleans, you come into Jefferson Parish on Jefferson Highway. The Lowe's is on your right, the Salvation Army store on your left. You're approaching those train tracks, you go through that like S-curve. It's kind of crusty and beat up, just not a lot of positive there, say a decade ago, and then slowly but surely some things started to come online. It could be just like a storage place, which is nothing great, but it's something, at least some investment. And then a Waffle House opens up, and then Pajon Catering has a little place you can go and get stuff, and it's starting to move in the right direction. It's because of Oshner's growth. It's because of thousands and thousands of employees on that campus. 10,000 plus on all their campuses, but the main campus, Jefferson Highway, River Road, has thousands of employees. If you're ever on the Earhart Expressway, you get off at Deck Bar. You get off the Deck Bar exit, you come up the big loop where you're coming down on a Deck Bar and you're heading towards Jefferson Highway, towards Oshner. When you're up on that bridge coming down on Deck Bar, look to your left. You would think it is like a rail yard for where they unload cars that are going to car dealerships. There are 1,000 cars parked over there, but it's not a storage place for cars. It's not a train depot where cars are getting pulled off the train and going to the dealerships. It's parking for Oshner employees. Those are Oshner employees where they park. No, it's 1,000 cars. The next time you're on the bridge, look to your left during the day. You'll freak out. You're like, damn, that's a lot of vehicles. No, that's why you have that bridge over Jefferson Highway now, all of that. Oshner wants to build a state-of-the-art children's hospital. They want it right next door to the main hospital so they can share services, and they want to take over another street and knock out a bunch of houses and knock down a bunch of oak trees. And I get the neighbors' concern. That old Jefferson neighborhood as you head towards Rio Vista, that's nice. It's nicer than than a lot of people may think. You get to Causeway and Jefferson Highway, it's a little crusty. Oshner's changing all that. And the neighborhoods they've always been pretty solid in Old Jefferson. They're only getting better. Younger people moving in. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a poor man's Lakeview, but it's like that. The older folks are, leaving or just getting up in age, whatever, and passing away, and young folks are moving into that neighborhood. So Oshner and the employees, the new folks moving in, a lot of development on Jefferson Highway, that's all a plus. But knocking down houses and the neighborhood and big oak trees, maybe, not a plus. What's that, Blue Boy? Oshner knows to save that 200-plus-year-old oak tree on bets. No, that was a smart move. Yeah, they're trying to work with the neighbors. Hopefully Oshner and the neighbors can bang something out where everyone wins, maybe. 5 o'clock power hour next. Don't move. We got a lot more to go.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Rouse's, New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's has the only full-service grocery stores both in the French Quarter on Royal Street and in the CBD on Baronne in the old Sewell Cadillac building. The Rouse's on the river, Tchoupitoulas at Napoleon, is in a century-old warehouse. And uptown on Ferret at the corner of Valence is Rouse's all-new boutique store. With 7 locations in Orleans Parish, Rouse's is New Orleans grocery store. Rouse's Markets. Taste like home.
Hi, this is Joey Helm. My dad, Bunky Helm, had a vision of a locally family-owned store serving the residential and commercial paint needs of New Orleans. I think Dad would be proud of today's Helm Paint and Decorating, and here's why. We have the best technical staff in the business, providing the best color matching service in Southeast Louisiana. Perfect matching for any color and any brand. Then we'll save your colors so you don't have to save those old cans. Helm Paint offers free 2-hour delivery. Our in-store decorators will assist you on deciding what color and type of paint to best showcase your home. But most importantly, as your local independent Benjamin Moore dealer, our products provide the greatest value in the paint industry. Superior coverage, and Benjamin Moore paint simply covers better and lasts longer. New Orleans is a city of vibrant color, and no one else provides the paints of New Orleans like Helm Paint and Decorating. Visit any of our 6 locations or online at helmpaint.com.
Helm Paint, let us do you right. Helm Paint and Supply.
The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day by river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became number one for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
5 generations, family owned and operated. Leidenheimer French bread.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on
I always
wheels.
thought Speed was a little effeminate.
He's a demon. And
I liked
he's
Rex
gonna be
Racer's older
chasing
brother.
someone.
I like Trixie. I mean, I want to date a girl that flies in a helicopter. I want to date a girl that picks me up on the date in the helicopter. All right, back to reality. 5 o'clock power hour. Thank you, Drew Brees, for bringing me back down to earth, literally. I was in a helicopter flying around with Trixie. Fantastic. Corey Johnson with you. What's your name, kid? Sparky Plugs, sir. Sparky Plugs. I didn't know Sparky's last name was Plugs until that one episode. Then it all made sense. Sparky Plugs. Get it? He's the mechanic. Spark Plugs. Sparky Plugs. You know, when the dad's called Pops Racer, that's his name. Yeah, Sparky Plugs makes sense. It is a Tuesday afternoon, 5 o'clock power hour. Thanks so much for joining us. Corey Johnson with you till 6 p.m. Oh, so fine. 93.9 FM. Learn it, love it, live it. Lock and load that bad boy into one of your presets. 93.9 FM. We're on TV across the state. Cox Channel 4 television. Also Spectrum/Charter. Spectrum Channel 333. Check out our YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, why don't you click to subscribe to our YouTube channel? It doesn't cost anything. Click to subscribe. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. Corey spelled K-A-A-R-E. Our website has everything. Radio, television, YouTube, where we are, when, all that stuff. CoreyTalks.com. CoreyTalks.com. You can email us, Corey@CoreyTalks.com. Save Old Jefferson. Have you seen the signs on River Road on Jefferson Highway? Ochsner Hospital. They've grown tremendously, that campus, in the last decade. Stacking that tower on top of the other tower, expanding into Jefferson Parish, taking over another street. They want to do it again. Buy up some more houses, cut down some more oak trees, and expand the campus westward. No, it is a catch-22. Ochsner employs over 10,000 people on all their campuses. The main campus, Jefferson Highway, River Road, thousands and thousands of employees. So there's been tremendous growth with that hospital, especially the last decade or so. And with that growth, we've seen some positives along that S-curve on Jefferson Highway. If you're coming down Claiborne, heading towards Jefferson Parish, you come into Jefferson Parish, the Lowe's is on your right, the Salvation Army store on your left, you're approaching the train tracks, you got the little S-curve. It's kind of a crusty area like 10 years ago. Kind of beat up, rough, nothing really of quality there. The Lowe's helped out, of course. That was a good anchor, no doubt. The Salvation Army store is solid. But then you got a few storage places. That's nothing great, but investment at least. A Waffle House, and then Krabby Jack's gaining momentum because of those other things. And then now Pigeon Catering's in the curve by the liquor distributor. You've got a bar, some restaurants, the daiquiri shop. Things are kind of picking up, and a lot of it has to do with Ochsner and their investment in that area. So that Jefferson Highway corridor, the first mile in from the parish line, has improved dramatically because of the Ochsner investment. But if you're an old Jefferson neighbor in that neighborhood, on the west side of the campus, you're like, whoa, I don't know how good this is. You're taking down old oak trees. You're tearing down old one-story houses and expanding your campus. More concrete and buildings and less trees in a city that has a tree canopy problem. We've lost a third of our tree canopy in Metro New Orleans in the last 20 years. A third. It's crazy. We should be growing it by a third. Ochsner's smart. They're getting with the neighbors. They're trying to work something out. Hey, that 200-plus-year-old oak tree on Betts, we're going to save that. But yeah, some houses and other oak trees are going to go down. How can we work with you on this? Because they want to build a children's hospital that's going to take up a huge footprint. They want it next door to the main building so they can share facilities. Probably link them together with some kind of, second-story bridge. No, it is a true catch-22 because Ochsner does a lot of good. They employ a lot of people. It's a big upgrade to that Jefferson Highway part of Metairie, or Old Jefferson, I should say, right there. But also there's old Jefferson neighborhoods there that are going to be affected. So hopefully Ochsner and the Old Jefferson neighborhood folks can get together and work something out where it's a win-win for both. But there is a Save Old Jefferson campaign going on because of Ochsner's growth. Colorado State University has readjusted its already above average hurricane season. They predicted 23 named storms. Now they're saying 25. They predicted 11 of those 23 named storms would become hurricanes. Now it's a dozen of the 25, up from 11 to 12 hurricanes. And from 5 of those hurricanes being, quote, major, it's now 6. Record high water temperatures, fueling La Nina. Colorado State readjusting an already above average hurricane season. Why not? We just saw what plowed through Texas and Houston, and 2 million without power, tornadoes from the storm when it came on the land all over the place. Louisiana Attorney General Liz Murrill asking a pretty good question. Where are the parents? Where are the parents? She was talking about the French Quarter beloved tour guide, Christy Thibodeau, who was gunned down and murdered in her car in the French Quarter. 3 teens essentially responsible. They're on a robbery spree that night. 19 years old, 17 years old. The 15-year-old kid had an ankle monitor on. No, AG Liz Murrill's right when she says the ankle monitoring system is a complete waste of time and money if everyone involved is asleep at the wheel. And that is exactly what appears to be the case in New Orleans. I don't know if it's typical New Orleans politics where the ankle monitoring folks are politically connected, and that's how they got the gig, coupled with the fact they're hyper liberal and woke, and they don't want these criminals going to jail, or they don't want to monitor them. They want them to kind of be able to be free. I have no idea. I mean, we got magistrates and judges that release criminals with low bail bond, let them go when they're violent criminals. Thank God there's a spotlight on that, and that's slowing down, if not almost stopped. So I don't know what the motivation or deal is with the folks that are doing the ankle monitoring, that are monitoring those criminals or alleged criminals that have the ankle monitor on. But when this 15-year-old's running around the French Quarter, nowhere near home and committing crimes, no, the AG is right. The ankle monitoring system is a complete waste of time and money if everyone involved is asleep at the wheel. So true. And also true where she asks, where are the parents? Where are the parents? 19, all right, you're an adult, but 17, and especially the 15-year-old, 15. Got a driver's license yet? No, repercussions on this beyond the 15-year-old, like the parents too. or lack of parenting. Easy to procreate. Some people say it's fun. That's the easy part. That's the fun part. But the procreation part, that's where responsibility kicks in, where you have to be a mother or father and actually parent the child and sacrifice. You're no longer number one. They are. They are. I know, interesting concept for some of you. For some of you that think it's an interesting concept, you should have never procreated. Should have never procreated. Congressional Democrats meeting today, actually have met. Joe Biden is the topic. Should he stay or should he go? We'll talk about that. And Troop NOLA, another police chase when we come back. Plus some $50 Woodhouse Day Spa trivia. The way to participate in the program, 766-9480, 766-9480. Every day, this program is brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex in Kenner. Right on the corner, right on the price. The car corner, Williams Boulevard and I-10. And also Lamarck Crescent City Ford on Jefferson Highway. Corey Johnson with you Tuesday afternoon. Summertime, NOLA.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. The Port of New Orleans is the gateway to global commerce, the economic engine that moves Louisiana and our country forward. For more than 125 years, Port NOLA has continued to deliver the goods we use each and every day. By river, rail, and by road. No matter what, it all happens right here, delivering Louisiana's future at the Port of New Orleans, your working river. Learn more about your Port of New Orleans. Visit portnola.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com. Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamar Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
I'm doing the Trump dance. I shouldn't laugh. It's about how I dance. Trump and I dance about the same level. I don't have many regrets in life. Seriously, I can't think of too many. Dancing's one. I don't dance. It's terrible. I have no rhythm. I have rhythm like with music. I don't know. I just can't translate it to my body and dancing. I don't know what the problem is. Hey, the Rouse's Markets phone lines are open if you'd like to participate in the program. 766-9480. That's why it's called Talk Radio. 766-9480. The McDonough 3. I'm going to answer this question today. I thought this would be an easy one, almost like required learning or knowledge for the average New Orleanian. What is the McDonough 3? The McDonough 3. By the way, the last few days, I guess it was over the weekend, Tessie Prevost passed away, only 69 years old, a civil rights icon here in New Orleans. Hey, the Rouse's Markets phone lines are open, 766-9480. I've got 50 big bucks for you if you can tell me who the McDonough 3 are. McDonough 3, I'm looking for answers. By the way, no Google, no search engines, no DuckDuckGo, Bing, Yahoo, no internet device. You either know the answer or you don't. No cheating, no reading the wiki page. I don't want that. Don't learn anything from that. Anyone can do that. I want life experiences when you're answering the trivia question. I used to work at that facility. My grandfather lived next door to those people, whatever. You learn something that way, not the wiki page. Troop NOLA, another car chase, another stolen vehicle. This one with switched VIN numbers even. Another drug stash, cocaine and pills. Another arrest warrant like a wanted criminal. Another arrest. Eric G. Banks Jr., 27, driving away from the troopers the wrong way on I-10 in the east. Absolutely insane. Car chases are not good. They're not a positive. There's nothing good about them. It's like you're accepting a lump of you-know-what and how you're going to deal with it. Hopefully no innocent people are hurt or killed, and hopefully minimal property damage, ideally none. But it's the criminal that initiates the car chase, not the police. It's the criminal. The police are pulling someone over. They're asking for a driver's license, whatever. And that person decides to run from the police. They're breaking the law. What are the police going to do? Oh, well, and just go have a sandwich or go get a donut. They go pursue the criminal. So the criminal started the chase, which is nothing good, not a positive. What it should be is whatever crimes you're popping the criminal for, it's enhanced because of the car chase. You get to jack it up because of the car chase. Now, what are the state police, the NOPD supposed to do? Just let it happen? The reason we're seeing a decline in violent crime, several reasons. One would be this, for example, proactive policing instead of reactive policing, both from the NOPD and state police, going after the criminals, not waiting for the crime to be committed. So that's helping tremendously. And there's other things. The DA on the job training, like what he ran, how he ran, what he ran on that platform. Once he got in office, it all changed. Boy, I said I'm not going to, prosecute juveniles as adults. That's got to change. Too much violent crime with these juveniles. And just on and on and on. Jason Williams is smart, and he's got common sense, and he's practical. I don't think he sold out saying he was running on this to get elected and then changed. I think he believed with what he was running on, this kind of woke liberal approach. And then once he got in the office, he saw that it was flawed and dramatically changed quickly. And he and his mother being carjacked, that probably accelerated the situation, like right in his face. So he's changed. He's let AG Liz Murrill, a Republican conservative from Baton Rouge running the state, come in and prosecute criminals that the state police arrest, like being very open. Old school New Orleans, especially a liberal black politician, old DA like Eddie Jordan would have never allowed that. Some Bill Jefferson clone, a Bill Jefferson puppet, old school, that kind of yesteryear thinking, never would have allowed it. Jason Williams welcomes it. No, it's a lot of things that have changed, that have reduced violent crime. In the last month, that operation where, 19 different law enforcement agencies got together, they arrested 150 people, 150 violent criminals. There's only about 400 or so. So like a third of all New Orleans violent criminals arrested in the last month, like 1/3. All these things are adding to the lowering of violent crime. And if you've noticed, four-wheelers on Sunday, like 20 strong, you don't see that anymore. The car drifting thing, you don't see that much anymore. Carjackings and the like, way down because of proactive policing, because of a police presence on the street. I had a guest on the show, very skeptical. He's like, Corey, those criminals aren't watching you. They aren't reading the paper. They aren't watching the news. You're right. But they live in the city. They're friends with other violent criminals, and they see those other violent criminals getting popped. Jimmy got arrested and his four-wheeler seized. So-and-so got arrested for drifting. The state troopers caught him. Let's go carjack a vehicle. Man, there's cops everywhere now. No, it's that talk amongst the criminals has kind of, tapered down the violent crime. These criminals realize, man, there are cops all over the place now. These state troopers are here now. It's proactive policing. This wild, wild west mentality where, hey, let's call all our friends in, bring in the four-wheeler. It's New Orleans where there are no repercussions. You can get away with murder. Now you can't get away with murder. There are repercussions. It isn't the wild, wild west. There is proactive policing. No, the whole landscape of violent crime in New Orleans has changed, and the violent criminals know it. Troop NOLA, another car chase, another stolen vehicle, another drug stash, another arrest. Eric G. Banks Jr., 27, driving the wrong way on I-10 in the east while getting chased. No, thank goodness for the proactive policing. Congressional Democrats met today. Joe Biden, should he stay or should he go? That's the question. Biden says he's not leaving the race. It's time for it to end. He's talking about the discussion of him leaving. It's time for it to end. Hey, Baton Rouge, I got good news for you. Helm Paint and Decorating has invaded the capital city, Tiger Town. 4 Helm Paint and Decoration locations. Boom, just like that. 4 Helm Paint and Decorating locations in Baton Rouge. Highland Road, Perkins Road, Choctaw, Jones Creek Road. When you got to paint in Metro New Orleans for over 55 years. When you got to paint in Metro Baton Rouge, yeah, Helm Paint and Decorating now in the capital city. Do it once, do it right. They'll steer you in the right direction. Helm Paint and Decorating. Free 2-hour delivery, Baton Rouge, just like New Orleans. Benjamin Moore Paint, just like New Orleans. Helm Paint and Decorating now in Baton Rouge. Yeah, you right. Hey, TV audience. It's 5:29 in about 15 seconds. That means in about 45 seconds, less than that now, since I've been talking, about 35 seconds. It'll be straight down 5:30, which means bye-bye, TV audience. Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, 4 to 5:30 weekdays. But the talk radio program, You can check us out on YouTube, The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube till 6 o'clock, or on the radio, Oh So Fine, 93.9 FM till 6 o'clock. CoreyTalks.com live streaming till 6 o'clock. Adios, television audience. Mañana, 4 p.m. Be there. Or head to YouTube or radio right now. Yeah, we roll until 6 o'clock. 766-9480. 766-9480. I'm going to throw out who the McDonough 3 was. It's a trio of people. But I'm going to give you a chance to tell me who the McDonough 3 was or the McDonough 3 are. Give me the answer, and I've got $50 for you. Good at one of the 5 area Woodhouse Day Spa locations. Mid-City, New Orleans, Metairie near North Kenner, Mandeville, Slidell, Baton Rouge, WoodhouseSpas.com. That's the website. The McDonough 3, give me the answer. I got $50 for you. Good at one of the Woodhouse locations. Rouse's Markets phone lines to participate. 766-9480. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. You got answers? I got 50 big bucks for you. Good at the Woodhouse Day Spa on this Tuesday afternoon. Corey Johnson with you. Best quality, best price, best selection. Rouse's Markets. They're everywhere. There's like 20 plus in Metro New Orleans. That means heading home from work, heading home, you'll pass 2 or 3 Rouse's. Do like I'm doing tonight. I think I'm going to drop some coals. I'm going to head to Rouse's, probably grab a Vidalia onion before those go out of season. It's near the end of that season. Get maybe a sirloin or a New York strip and cube it up and make some shish kebab with that Vidalia onion. Rouse's Markets, only Angus beef. Lots of marbling means lots of flavor. Rouse's Market, tastes like home. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday. 766-9480 is how you dial us up. 766-9480. Yeah, if you can tell us who the McDonough 3 is, I'll give you $50. Good at the Woodhouse. By the way, Tessie Prevost passed away over the weekend. Only 69, a civil rights icon here in New Orleans. Colorado State has readjusted an already heavy hurricane season. Not good. Even more hurricanes predicted. They predicted 23 named storms. Now they're saying 25. They predicted 11 of those would become hurricanes. Now they're saying 12. And of the dozen hurricanes, it was 11. They were saying 5 would be major. Now they're saying 6. They've one-upped an already aggressive hurricane season. An already above average. Record high water temperatures, fueling La Nina. Anyway, not good news. It's friggin' July, and Houston just got crushed. 2 million people without power in July. I mean, you expect that like late August, September, like in 6 weeks, 8 weeks from now. It's already happening. No wonder Colorado State has readjusted their above average hurricane prediction. Rouse's Markets phone lines, 766-9480. 766-9480. McDonough 3, you got an answer? If you do, I got 50 big bucks for you at the Woodhouse. Hey, Young's Dry Cleaning, a New Orleans institution since 1940. I've been going to Young's for about 30 years. My mom's been going to Young's for about 50. 30 years might be a little, I might be like more like 40. Closing in on 40. No, they're the biggest because they've always been the best. If you don't like your dry cleaner, want to experience the best, youngsdrycleaning.com. youngsdrycleaning.com.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's
cities. Total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River cities. Total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on magazine, as unique as you.
Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's what I said. Ooh la Leidenheimer, that's French for bread. Leidenheimer.
For over 120 years, New Orleans' very own Leidenheimer French bread.
Custom window treatments can enhance the look and value of your home. At Helm Paint and Decorating, we're proud to offer custom plantation-style window shutters by Scandia. Perfect for any window, including large frames, French doors, sliding doors, and arches. American-made SL300 shutters are available in many colors to match your personal decor. We'll come out to measure, and you'll receive fast delivery. Plus, they're virtually maintenance-free.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Helm Paint and Supply.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Treyen in Mandeville.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal: everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good, and we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Rouse's Markets means convenience. Every one of our 65 locations opens at 7 a.m., some at 6:30, and they're open until 10 p.m., with some staying open till 11 or even midnight. Convenience. Rouse's Markets. Tastes like home.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
I don't know if they've officially cut the ribbon, but Harrah's is officially Caesars now. There's no Harrah's signage anymore in the building. They have completed the hotel. At least it looks complete. They have painted the hotel and the casino all the same colors, so they all kind of blend in together. The hotel has a big Caesars moniker on it. The casino now says Caesars. Harrah's is done, 100% gone. There is no more Harrah's. It is Caesars downtown, and it looks pretty good. It's pretty with the casino building and the hotel. It's pretty Vegas looking. What's a shame is there is this silly land-based casino monopoly in New Orleans that I've talked about often, and not many people discuss it, if anyone at all. Why does a land-based casino monopoly, 30 plus years in now, still exist? Do I think if that was lifted, that New Orleans would become the next Vegas? There'd be a dozen land-based casinos? No, I don't think that at all. But I do think of the major players like MGM, Wynn, other, Bally's, some of the major casino players, foreign interests. I think you'd have one or two, maybe even three come in and invest billions of dollars because they have to compete with Harrah's. And Harrah's has $1 billion of infrastructure now. The casino building, the new hotel, the original hotel, Fulton Street, $1 billion+ of investment in the city. Could you imagine if there was competition? And Harrah's would win too. Their tax break would be, hey, you're relinquishing the monopoly, so you're going to get a lesser tax than these other casinos your competitors are going to get for X amount of years. And the competitors are going to know that, and they're still going to come. And like I said, they're going to build massive hotels, massive casinos, multiple restaurants, entertainment venues to complement the casino and the hotel and all that. Billions of dollars, maybe a couple of $1 billion of each one. And I would think you'd get at least 1, 2, maybe even 3 major players come in and compete with what is now Caesars, this land-based monopoly. You don't go by what I'm saying. You get a study done. If we open up the market, what would happen? You talk to the major players like Wynn, Bally's, MGM, whoever, wherever, and say, hey, we're contemplating getting rid of this land-based casino monopoly. Caesars would not be a monopoly. You could come into New Orleans and buy land, lease land in the CBD, Warehouse District area on the river, and build a mega multi-billion-dollar casino, hotel, entertainment complex to compete against Caesars. There's no point in having a land-based casino monopoly. All the original thoughts of we don't want this to become a casino, Mecca, where we'd become the next Vegas and all the local hotels and restaurants would go out of business. The original Harrah's 30 years ago, they couldn't serve food. They couldn't have a hotel. They was worried about the competition. It was just so silly. Then all of a sudden they're like serving Lucky Dogs, and then all of a sudden there's like a pizza place, and then now they have restaurants everywhere, prime steakhouses, 2 hotels. It was just short-sighted, silly, ridiculous. You either get in or you don't. But in typical New Orleans, Louisiana fashion, we come up with restrictions and limitations, anti-capitalism measures like this Caesars land-based monopoly. Doesn't make sense. Hurts the local economy. It's not good for New Orleans. Isn't good for Caesars. If they had competition, they would do better than they're even doing. New Orleans would become more of a casino destination, and Caesars would do better. It's like the old Walgreens story. And Eckert's opens across the street. Does the Walgreens suffer? No, it does better business. And the Eckert's is viable because that corner becomes a drugstore corner. People know. I think in Atlanta, I forget the corner. It's like Piedmont North or something over by like heading towards like Cabbagetown part of Atlanta. There's like literally like a Walgreens, an Eckert's, and a CVS on the same intersection. 3 drugstores. It's like the drugstore corner. So no, having a few land-based casinos, we become more of a casino destination. Might even see more nonstop flights in the city, like our first in decades, Mexico City to New Orleans. There used to be a Mexico City to New Orleans nonstop. I think Houston has 70 a week or something like that. 9 a day, something like that. We got 0. No, we'd see things like that happening. The land-based casino monopoly in New Orleans is beyond silly, reckless, outdated, makes no sense. Time to move on. At least time to discuss it. No, it's sad. It's like when I talk about reimagining Bourbon Street. Why am I the only person that talks about these things that are so painfully obvious? There's a reason we locals don't go to Bourbon Street. It sucks. It's a toilet. It's a disgrace. It's a nightmare. Strip joints, prostitution, drugs, big-ass beer, trinket shops, daiquiris, just no money being generated, a lot of cash, taxes not being paid. It's Jimmy and his girlfriend coming in, parking their truck, getting a daiquiri, walking up Bourbon Street a few times, then they're gone. Sally was $17. Jimmy was $23. I mean, it's not doing anything for the city. Like I said, there's a reason we don't go to Bourbon Street. Locals don't go. It's terrible. It's worthless. It's a toilet. It's a gutter. Time to reimagine Bourbon Street. Sadly, it's never discussed. It's not even mentioned like it's off limits, like a crazy idea. We love setting our ways, no change, just things going in the direction they go and never looking at any other options. Bourbon Street, it's time to look at other options. The land-based casino, time to look at other options. Why not? Why not? Why not? Miss Peaches, I'll never get over it. I know it's a trend and it's probably here to stay. First off, a man wearing a suit with a tie, you can't wear a rubber-soled shoe. It's got to be a leather-bound shoe. That's just how it goes. That's the tradition. But now folks have bent the rule with the rubber-soled shoe with the suit. Just looks terrible. And now, to really emphasize the rubber sole, there's the shoes with the white rubber sole with the suit. And then you got folks wearing like tennis shoes with the suit. I see JP Morrell, city councilman. He's got on a nice three-piece suit with a tie. He's got on like Pumas, like high-top tennis shoes. It's ridiculous. It's like, JP, you're a 40-something-year-old man. You're a New Orleans city councilman. Get some leather shoes with a leather sole and dress accordingly. No, I mean, I'm busting on JP. He can laugh at this, and he's going to continue wearing his Pumas, but I'll never get into that look. I don't get that look. I mean, if you're wearing a suit and tie, wear the right shoes. Why would you 90% it and then wear crap shoes? The opposite. You got a killer suit, shirt, tie, wear some killer shoes with a leather bottom. Now, if you got on a, suit with no tie, then the leather soles go out. You could wear rubber, but make it like a loafer with a rubber sole or something, not those tennis shoe looking things with the white sole. But that's the style. I'm not buying into it. I'm old school on that. Speaking of old school, Leidenheimer Baking Company since 1896. That's old school. That's as old school as it gets. The official French bread of New Orleans. The official po' boy French bread of New Orleans. Leidenheimer Baking Company. They now, they've always baked the bread in New Orleans, but they now send out that bread to around 30 states around the country. Yeah, Leidenheimer French bread baked right here in New Orleans, being sent out to about 30 states. Leidenheimer continues to grow, and they're still a part of the New Orleans community. All their bread is baked right here in the New Orleans, and it'll always be that way. Post-Katrina, they opened a bakery in Baton Rouge, and they couldn't get the bread right. It was the Baton Rouge water or whatever. So they closed that bakery, and they just, put more shifts in the New Orleans bakery and produce more bread. And it all comes from New Orleans. All the bread they send to 30-plus states baked right here in New Orleans. There aren't bakeries throughout the Southeast, or they don't sub it out to some other bakery. Here, use our ingredients. Leidenheimer French bread is special, beloved by New Orleanians for nearly 130 years, into its third century. Leidenheimer French bread, Leidenheimer Baking Company, part of the fabric of the city. Corey Johnson with you on a Tuesday afternoon. The Pelicans' new point guard, DeJounte Murray from the Hawks, introduced today. Brandon Ingram mentioned by Griffin, like they're not even trying to trade him. So who knows? Rouse's Markets phone lines 766-9480. 766-9480. I'm about to tell everybody who the McDonough 3 is. Maybe Robert in Slidell has an answer. He might pick up 50 big bucks at the Woodhouse. What's up, Robert?
Robert in Slidell does not know who that is, so I won't even pretend to guess.
All right. How you doing, man?
Not too bad. How about you, brother?
Doing good. Liz Murrell's being pretty active. The AG, she's upset about this Christy Thibodeau murdered in the French Quarter, this beloved tour guide. A 19-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old had an ankle monitor on the 15-year-old. So she's ordered the Department of Justice to open an investigation into the ankle monitoring contracts with the juvenile court system in New Orleans. So that's good news because, it's probably some setup where somebody connected has the contract. They're probably hyper woke and don't want to see these criminals go to jail. I have no idea, but Liz Merle said it best, Robert. She said the ankle monitoring system is a complete waste of time and money if everyone involved is asleep at the wheel.
That was the best thing she said in a while. That was subsequent to the worst thing she said in a while when she said she can't wait to defend the 10 Commandments law, which she undoubtedly will lose.
That you're right. You're right. I'm not like a big Liz Merle fan because she is extreme.
No.
But you're right on the money. I can't wait to waste taxpayer money on this, is what she's saying. So that's the worst of Liz Merle. But where are the parents? The ankle monitoring, it's asleep at the wheel. Those are the better of Liz Merle.
And look, I'm a father of 5, man. So if your dog or my dog attacks somebody, and I'm not a lawyer. I'm a CPA, but not a lawyer. So I believe we'd be held accountable to some. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know the law.
No, you're right. No, the dog owner is going to be held responsible, no doubt. The children, the parents should be held responsible for their kids. I don't get it.
That's what I'm getting at.
That's what she's getting at. I think what she says, where are the parents? Some folk thinks that's like taboo to say something like that. That's the woke liberal crap right there.
No, it's the same. Now, I'm not trying to equate my dog and my children, but it's the same premise. If my dog, I'm the consenting adult.
Yep.
My dog, attacks someone, ultimately that's my responsibility. And I think similarly for my 5 kids. Now, I don't know the story of the 15-year-old kid, but I sure hope I don't know what you can do for juvenile justice for someone in that situation. And, I don't know that you end a 15-year-old's life. Well, maybe you do. I'm not a judge. I don't have the heart to be a judge, but he's got to be made an example of these 15-year-old, 16-year-old kids that maybe know that they're skirting right underneath the line of emancipation and in the eyes of the law, that know they can almost do whatever they want.
Robert, the kid has an ankle monitor on and was in the quarter, not at his house, and knew there were no repercussions. He obviously has tested that. He obviously has abused the ankle monitor before, and no one called and said, why aren't you at the house? Why are you outside of the zone you're supposed to be in? So that's the problem in New Orleans. It's changing, but there's still the ankle monitoring's a problem. There are no repercussions from that. Liz Merle's going to try to make sure there are repercussions now. So that's a positive.
She's the chief law enforcement officer of the state. I hope she earns her check and enforces the law, busts somebody for it.
Yep.
Because that poor lady was innocent. Hey, I wanted to you made a comment about JP Morrell and his suit and his tennis shoes.
Yeah.
This is nothing to do with JP Morrell. It could be Barney Fife.
Exactly.
But I've noticed since COVID, just in the office, around the office, you don't ever see a shirt and tie anymore. At most, it's a shirt and a blazer. Now, no tennis shoes yet, but I've just noticed that the formality, in the profession, I don't even want to call it that, but the level of reverence, I should say, in the professional setting, it's more like slacks and a button down and a blazer if it's calls for. But I hardly ever see a necktie at work anymore.
Now, look, I'm not some fuddy-duddy or nerd. Like, I don't think people flying on a plane should be dressed to the nines like it's the 1950s, women in dresses, men in suit and tie to fly. I'm just giving an example. Yeah. But also, you shouldn't get on a plane with flip-flops with your feet exposed and like a shirt where you cut the sleeves off or something and cutoffs, have a little bit of respect. So, yeah, I think it's, I don't know what the rules should be necessarily, but I just think, you're wearing a suit with a tie and a shirt. You have tennis shoes on. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, going back to that, if you ever wear flip-flops in public where you have to go to a public bathroom, especially as a man,
yep,
where you're possibly at a urine, I mean, I'll stop there, but use your imagination. That's gross. But anyway, I figured I'd call and banter about nothing important, Corey. Love the show, man. Hey, take care.
Yeah, you're right, Robert. Thanks for the call in Slidell. That's Robert in Slidell. I was on the North Shore today, Mandeville, knocking out some business. It was lunchtime. I got a to-go order from Trey Yen. I went a little overboard. I got the Jade Garden Sampler, which is it's an egg roll. I substituted the egg roll for a spring roll. It comes with a couple of butterfly shrimp and a few slices of pork. Some nice lean pork. So you get the pork, the butterfly shrimp, and a spring roll, Jade Garden Sampler. I got a little tung cho sauce on the side for dipping. Plus those lunch specials, you get the little mini fried wontons, which are incredible in the tung cho sauce. And then I got an entree. They're all like 10, 11, 12 bucks. I got hot pepper chicken. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, the lunch specials at Trey Yen Tuesday through Friday are tough to beat. 10, 11, 12 bucks. Check it out. Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
For over 20 years, serving healthy, fresh, authentic Middle Eastern cuisine, Lebanon's Cafe. In the Carrollton section of Uptown on the streetcar line, Wednesday through Monday, 11 a.m. to 9:30. Lebanon's Cafe.
River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot. River City's total maintenance keeps you cool. NOLAAC.com, your cool spot.
Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
The Woodhouse Day Spa, with 5 area locations: New Orleans, Metairie, Slidell, Baton Rouge, and now Mandeville. A day of relaxation is just moments away at the Woodhouse Day Spa. WoodhouseSpas.com.
Rouse's Market is hiring. With 65 stores, full or part-time employment, and flexible scheduling, Rouse's has a job for you, or maybe even a career. Apply at any Rouse's store or online at rouses.com.
At Helm Paint, we go the extra mile with free delivery anywhere in the metro area. In the middle of a job and short on paint? Call us and we'll come to you.
Short on time? Call in your order and pick it up in the drive-thru at our Earhart Boulevard location.
Helm Paint and Benjamin Moore. Let us steer you in the right direction.
Tennis people are freaking out. Tennis courts all around America are getting converted to pickleball courts. And the tennis purists they know likey. I get it. I haven't played pickleball yet. I'm sure eventually I will one day. I'll just be somewhere where they're playing pickleball, and it seems like it's ridiculously easy to pick up where you can play right away. I'm not saying I'm going to be great at it right away, but I'm imagining one day I will play pickleball, but I have no desire to go run and play pickleball. I'd rather hit a tennis ball, which I haven't hit in years, but can still do it. Slightly athletic still, can still get around like a little cat, still quick and fast. Hey, Katie's in Mid-City's waiting for you. The quintessential New Orleans neighborhood, a taste of New Orleans, full of New Orleans characters. Plus those old school New Orleans specialties, from po' boys to seafood platters to pizzas. Why aren't you at Katie's right now in Mid-City? So good. Tuesday afternoon edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. The McDonough 3, Tessie Prevost, Leona Tate, Gail Etienne. They integrated McDonough 19. The same day Ruby Bridges integrated William Franz Elementary. Tessie Prevost, one of the McDonough 3, passing away over the weekend at just 69 years old. We'll see you tomorrow. Mañana, Wide Open Wednesday, 4 p.m.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.